get the live action shot, folks. So we're about to go live on Facebook, and also the live that I do, that I send from Zoom up to YouTube. So if you're unable to catch it on Facebook, you can always catch it on YouTube, usually a day or two after, to go through the different energies and so on. So as I said before, many times I will add things into the stream that goes up to YouTube that I don't put into the Facebook. So you guys are getting it first. I'm going to be releasing a very special series that's going to be done online, which I'm very excited about. More information to come on that, but you want to keep your eyes open for it. If you're catching this as the replay on YouTube, please do hashtag replay. That just helps us get an idea of how far the video goes. So we appreciate you checking in with us on YouTube, and hope to work with you soon. So let's get this started, folks. All right. Hello, hello, hello to Facebook world. If you are catching this as a replay, please do hashtag replay. And for now, let me also pull up stuff in that I want to put on my Facebook page. So there's that. And I want to go to here and here. So I'm just going to give it a little more time so that way people can hop in. Let's see. Hi. So going to give it a, like I said, give it a moment or two. So say hey as you get in. Let me know that you're here. It's interesting because I am working with a deck of cards. It's an oracle deck that I have not worked with in years, but for some reason this was calling to me. And this is not like an ordinary deck, because this deck has like freaking 200 cards in it. So it is called the Ocean Oracle, What Seashells Reveal About Our True Nature. This is one that I got ages ago. And it's interesting because I used to do a lot with seashells. In particular, there's probably a lot of stuff that people don't know about me that I'll share a little bit about this evening. So since we're sharing different things, I'm gonna just put also my cards into order to make sure that everything is going in the right direction. So while I'm in the process of doing this, I'm going to say that I'm recording this on Facebook and I'm recording this on Zoom so I can send it up to YouTube. For those people who catch it on Facebook, you're catching it live. That's great. We love to have the live interaction. If you miss it, what I'm going to say is you might want to check it and look for it on YouTube under Tori McNally. And the reason why I say that is because there are things that I will post in the video that goes up on YouTube when I do this that is not included in the Facebook series. So it might be worth you checking out the YouTube links and seeing the YouTube feed, because there are some little nuggets, whether it be information, whether it be specials, whether it be sharing some different new things that are coming up. It's kind of a mixed bag of things. So with that being said, I encourage you to hit the bell and to follow us on YouTube so you can be alerted when these videos drop. So I think that's kind of something that it's worth checking out. And there are things that, like I said, are mentioned at the very beginning, at the very end, that are not mentioned on YouTube. I'm sorry, not mentioned on Facebook, because I will hit the video at the beginning of when I'm doing this for Zoom, and then bring the Facebook feed in and do the reading. And then at the end, after I've done the reading, I will usually end the Facebook feed and then continue on with some of the stuff that goes up to YouTube. So like I said, it's worth checking out YouTube. If you haven't already liked and followed and shared Avalon Enchanted on Eventbrite, please do so, because we have some really, ooh, one card just went flying out, so we're going to keep that. We have some really cool things coming up for February, and I cannot believe it's already February 1st. So for those of you that are just joining us, hi, this is this week's Ascended Illuminations reading. And for those of you that have figured it out, Cindy and I share this responsibility back and forth. So we swap back and forth with this. So tonight I'm using the Llewellyn Tarot, which I really like. I actually have this. I really like this. And I actually have a deck for sale in the studio. I actually wound up purchasing two because I liked it so much. And then the other deck, which, because as you guys know, what I do is I will select 3 cards from a oracle deck, right? And whatever those 3 cards are, I present them to you. And then you pick one of those 3 cards, and then I do 3 readings, one for each of the cards, right? So with that being said, depending upon which card you select, and one card just flew out, that determines which reading is meant for you, okay? So this deck actually has 200 cards, which is mind-boggling when you think about it, because it is one of those decks that's ginormous that you can barely get into your hand. So I'm just going to give it one more shuffle. And then another card just flew out. Actually, 2 more cards just flew out. So we got our 3 cards. And I'm going to put those here. So we're going to see what we got from the Ocean Oracle. Ocean Oracle. So for those of you that might not know, when I got married back in 2000, we did an ocean themed wedding, a seashell wedding actually. So everything had seashells on it. I even made all of the centerpieces for the wedding topiaries with all sorts of seashells. The bouquets had seashells. The cake had chocolate seashells. You get the drift. So it was interesting. So I've always had a love of seashells, especially living seashells down by the seashore, literally, for as long as I can remember. So I find the ocean very relaxing. And like I said, I haven't used this deck in a while, but it's been calling to me saying, hey, use me, use me. So now's the time. So A is the triumphant star, which means victory and triumph. So this is A, the triumph star, right? And then the other card that flew out is Angel Wing. Feeling trapped, options seeming unclear. Angel Wings. Okay. And then the third card that flew out of the deck is Angel Wing. So this would be C. And this is just the single angel wing as compared to B, which is the double angel wing. That's B, the double angel wing. And C is the single angel wing. So, and the meaning on this one is determination. So, knowing that, pick your A, B, or C. And we're going to go ahead and start with reading for A. So as you're here, chime in, let me know that you're here. Please remember to like and share this with your friends. It just helps us get a broader view, and the more likes and the more shares is going to help us with our algorithms as well. So we definitely ask you for that. So I had another card. Well, we're going to go with that. So let's see what we got. So this is for A. This is for the triumphant star, a univalve. I was a complete shell nerd. I'm not gonna lie, complete shell nerd. Actually was registered as a conchologist. Wanted to go to some of the different conventions down in Sanibel, but never quite got there. But yeah, there's a lot about shells that I kind of definitely got a lot of information on. So this is for reading A. Hey, Jane. Hey, Deb. Okay. So let's see what we got. It's funny. This is as I mentioned, A is the triumph star, right? What's above is the Three of Cups, which is triumph and victory. And I always call it, woohoo, the party card. So to me, that's a positive card. And it's really about things coming together. Literally, we have the Wheel of Fortune, the Wheel of Fate spinning, new things coming in, and it's coming in on the heels of judgment. Okay. So the need to really make sure that you're in balance, the need to make sure that you are keeping things in check. So those are some things. Jane says, I found a Shiva's eye inside the temple of, really? Very cool. I'm just going to open up a diet soda. So give me a moment. So, yeah, I found some shells as well, and definitely snagged those at some of the different places as well. Got some sand dollars and stuff like that. So the people who chose A, you're gonna find that there's stuff coming in that is coming in for your highest and best, and there are going to be some new things shifting. We do have the death card, which, as we know, is not someone dropping dead. It's about something ending, but that is allowing something new and wonderful to come in and take shape, right? If I pull another card, we get the Nine of Pentacles, and she's standing there in very confident about herself, and she has a lot of abundance around her. Okay, so that's a good thing. It's like, you know, that there's certain things that you need to shift around in order to bring in this new thing, that this new paradigm that you want. And in the personal house, we have the Fool, and they're leaping and kind of taking a jump, literally a jump off the cliff, but they're off onto a new adventure. So this may be something that terrifies you, but on the same hand, excites you in terms of making these changes, letting finally go of the stuff that you don't need and don't want, giving yourself permission to let those things go. That's important, okay? We have that's just the cat that's batting around paper, making his own little ball. And he'll probably make an appearance behind me at some point in time when he gets bored. We have the King of Wands, we have the Empress, we have the Nine of Wands. And wands, I always say wands are fire sign. So it's literally lighting a fire under your bum in order to let go of what you need to let go of and bring in what's new. Now, a card did fly out of the deck, and it's the Six of Pentacles. So it is about cooperation, working together. To me, this is very much about being open to new ideas, new people, new opportunities. So this is something that I feel, it's something that's going to help grow. There's people that you may find that you interact with that are very open about and also very sincere about wanting to maybe help, um, lend support in your new endeavor that you might be trying to embark on. So that's a good thing. It's like we have so much going on in the magical community nowadays where people are just kind of, I don't want to say fighting each other, but if you're a human being and you help and you are open and you're honest, I feel like there's plenty enough to go around, right? So I feel like there's going to be somebody stepping in that will certainly be open, be empathetic and sympathetic to, your process, your changes, your vision of what you want to change for you for the future. So that it's not going to be an easy road. Like I said, I have the Nine of Wands, and this guy looks like he's been through the war, but in the same token, wands are very creative, right? So there's stuff that's going to come in. It's just a matter of being open for it. Yeah, you're going to have to work for it, but in the long run, I think it's going to be more in keeping of what you want to be doing and where you need to be. Okay. Hi, Donna. Welcome. We're very glad to have you here. This is a channel where we do weekly that we actually do 3 readings, or reading A, reading B, and a reading C. In this case, I'm just starting with reading A. I pull oracle cards and you choose. So I have the Triumphant Star for A, I have the Angel Wings for B, and then I have Angel Wing for C, right? So we're on A right now. So this is something that's just giving us the opportunity to maybe appreciate the road that we know we need to take, appreciate the process, and know that we can stand our ground. It's one of those things where sometimes some of the things that you might be considering or looking at or opting to kind of bring into your sphere might not necessarily be something that is traditional, but maybe you've been kind of fighting the fact that traditional isn't working, and you need to kind of push yourself outside of your comfort zone. So this is giving you the permission to do that. So we have a lot of things that are coming in for this. And it's interesting because I have the Empress and I have the King of Wands, and those are 2 very how do I say this, confident people. So there's a lot, and again we have that balance. It's like almost like they're like bookends. Now I did pull a card, and I did get the Nine of Swords, which I like to call the headache card. Okay, so what I'm going to say with this is that you got to be very careful of self-sabotage with this. Okay, you got to be careful of self-sabotage with this, because you don't want to talk yourself out of jumping at something that you need to jump to, but you're reluctant at. The universe will come at us or come to us in a lot of different ways at a lot of different times, right? And sometimes we get opportunities from the universe and it's things that we want, but maybe sometimes it's one of those things where we're expecting it to look a very certain way and we pass by what the universe is giving us because we're so focused on looking at things in a certain way. We got to kind of broaden our horizons a little bit and realize that potentially the universe is giving us what it is that we want, but it's just looking a little bit different from how we were going to perceive it to be. All right. So be open to that. Just be open to that. You don't want the self-sabotage where you let go what it was that you wanted and you're up the creek without a paddle. You know what I mean? So keep that in the back of your mind. I'm going to pull one more card for A, and I got the Queen of Swords. You know, swords can either cut you or protect you. I'm also feeling that there's a fair amount of cord cutting that needs to be done with people who choose A with some of these changes that are they know they want to make or they know they need to make. Okay. So it's a matter of cutting the cords or the ties from past family or friends or situations that are not in our highest and best that we need to let go of. Okay. To me, I'm just hearing the theme song for Frozen in my head. Let it go, let it go, let it go. And it's one of those things where we can either do it the hard way and it's going to be uncomfortable and we're going to literally look like we've just been through the war and back, or we can stand confidently and say, okay, I'm open to what the universe has in store for me. I'm open to change that's for my highest and best. And I know that I'm supported by the universe. I know that I'm supported by my guides and by my ancestors. All right. So that's kind of what I'm seeing for people who chose A, which is the triumphant star. Okay. So let's take a look and see what comes up for B, which is the angel wings. And I'll show you the image for B. Okay. So just so, because I know we've had some people pop on and pop off. I always like to remind people that if they're catching this as a replay, please do hashtag replay. That helps us know how far the video goes. And secondly, what I do is, whether it's with me or whether it's with my business partner, Cindy, what I do is I actually put our weekly readings up to YouTube. So you can always, I encourage you to check out the YouTube feed of our Ascended Illuminations readings, because for me, what I do is I actually will add content maybe even before the camera goes on Facebook. And then after the reading and after I've logged off of Facebook, there's more content in many cases that goes on to the feed that goes up to YouTube. Sometimes it can be specials, sometimes it can be discounts, sometimes it can be just information about new programs and new opportunities that are coming in that we're working on. So I encourage you to check those out. Okay. So let's see what the angel wings have in store for us. Okay. So while I'm in the process of shuffling, I am going to do a little bit of talking. So I have a couple things going on I want to just briefly mention. First of all, Saturday night, I am teaching a class on Mary Magdalene, which is going to be a really interesting class in terms of tracing her Egyptian roots. And some other things that that have come in for me whenever I've done table tipping, and we've had some really interesting information about Mary Magdalene with ties to Mother Mary, with ties to Kuan Yin, with ties to some other ascended masters. So if you're local, that starts at, I believe, 6:30 to 8:30. If you're not local, we'll actually have it available on Zoom, so you're able to sign up. I just ask that you let us know if you're going to be attending it via Zoom or if you're going to be attending it via in person in the studio. That's one thing I want to mention. So that is this Saturday, and tickets are available on our Eventbrite page. The other thing I want to mention is that we actually have a really fabulous class. We actually have a teacher that's coming in that is going to teach all about feng shui and how it can help your space, how it can help your sacred space, how it can clear out energy. You can feng shui, gosh, your house, your car, people, your office, you know, where you work. And it's one of those things that really helps in terms of really increasing the energy flow to bring in abundance, to bring in peace and harmony, and so on. So that's something to think about. We will be available doing it in person on the 10th of January, which technically is the Chinese New Year. It's the year of the dragon. So we thought this would be a great way to celebrate that. Feng Shui is an ancient art, Chinese art of working with energy and working with energy in its flow, its qi. Okay. So I encourage you, if you're curious about maybe changing the energy in your home or in and around your sacred space, I encourage you to take the class. Since we do small classes, we always, because the studio is small, the person that's coming in, her name is Karen Phillips, and she's actually going to be coming in and doing feng shui readings for the people. She's also going to work with you in terms of how to step-by-step feng shui your own private space. She'll ask you for a drawing of your floor plan of your home, so that way she can figure out how to put what needs to go where, energetically speaking. And then you can take that and use that in order to be able to bring the really great energy into your home. Hey, Faith, how are you? So let's take a look at B. All right. It's interesting because the Six of Pentacles popped up again. All right. So people who chose B, the angel wings, right? Which is all about feeling trapped, options seeming unclear. Maybe you're feeling like you just need a little bit of a push, you know, feeling like you're not sure what direction to go in. What I'm going to say is that there is a lot that's coming in for the angel wings card, or reading B, that's all about forward movement. Literally, we have the Knight of Wands, and he's moving ahead, right? We have the Chariot, again, forward movement. And what I'm hearing is, don't look back. Don't look back. People who chose B are finding that there's been a lot that's come in for them lately. They're on a forward trajectory. There may have been some things that have caused you to kind of really take inventory of what's been going on. Maybe there's been some changes that you've made. Hey, Deanna, maybe there's some changes that you've made in your life that have really kind of caused you, that have thrown you out of kilter or thrown you out of balance. And you're in the process of, just coming out of the other side of that. In the past, I have the Justice card. Maybe there were some legal things going on, you know? My point being is that this is where we have the 10 of Cups right now, showing that, you're in a good place. Just keep the forward movement. Keep moving forward. We have the 10 of Wands. Again, he's moving forward. He has the world on his shoulders. So what I'm going to say is, do not take on more than, don't bite off more than you can chew. Okay? Don't bite off more than you can chew. Don't take on people's stuff that you don't need to be carrying. Don't take on stuff that is ancient that you just need to basically kick to the curb, and you want stuff that you're going to be taking that's for your highest and best. And if you know it's not for your highest and best, axe it. All right? If you know it's not something that is or something that you don't want to do, axe it. It's one of those things where um people who chose B, the angel wings, you're finding that there is literally a new avenue to take. But how you actually proceed and how you actually move forward is going to determine whether or not it's an easy peasy lemon squeezy path for you, or if you're going to make it more complicated than you need to be. Okay. Again, Six of Swords, coming out of the choppy water into the clear sailing. You have the permission to move on, but we have the Eight of Swords. You don't want to be stuck and overthink things. Again, this is almost like a self-sabotage card again. All right. So this is something where you have different directions to go. And I'm also hearing, don't feel overly sorry for yourself. You don't want to kind of go down into a spiral. You've worked hard in order to allow for new doors to open up and new opportunities to come in. But don't allow things and thought, second thought, I'm going to say, to creep in and kind of take everything down. Yeah. Interesting. I have the Page of Wands here. And one thing that's popping out to me with the Page of Wands is the little bunny rabbit that's there. And when we look at bunny rabbits, we think of spring, we think of Easter, we think of, baby animals and things like that. Rabbits are a symbol of rebirth. They're a symbol of springtime when the baby animals are being born. Okay. Today is Imbolc, right? Today's Imbolc. This is the halfway point between winter being over. This is when we start to see the snowdrops come out. When we start to see little tiny signs of spring. Rabbits are signs of spring, right? So my point being, there is a lot that is fertile, that is growth, that is new. You just got to keep moving forward and don't overcomplicate it. Okay. As I had mentioned, reading A had the Six of Pentacles pop out. We still have this. And what I'm going to say to this is be open to help. Be open to assistance. Don't be afraid to ask for help, to ask for guidance when you need it, because this is going to be something that's going to be important to help you continue to put that one foot in front of the other. All right. It's funny. I have the King of Wands and I have the King of Pentacles back to back. I'm going to pull one more card to kind of get an idea of what those mean. Seven of Swords. Okay. What I'm going to say is you may find yourself in a situation where you may have to kind of pick sides. And I almost feel that this is why we have this in the personal house. It's like you're being told to pick a side and support it. Doesn't need to be that way. Because honestly, Seven of Swords is kind of like no one's winning. It's like one of those things where there's fault on both sides. There's right on both sides, but there's also fault on both sides. So what I'm going to say with this is don't allow yourself to be stuck in the middle between either two parties or two situations that have caused you that are pushing you to make a decision about picking a certain side. In this case, you need to stay neutral. You need to stay neutral and focus on you. Focus on you. Two of Swords. Two of Swords. Again, what direction do I go in? Are you going to allow yourself to be caught up and tripped up with having to pick a side and getting into that politics? And I don't mean literally the physical politics of what's going on now. I mean what's going on in your own personal world. Hey, Sarah. This is going to be something that's important. Are you going to let yourself be pulled in different directions to the point where you don't know what decision to go in because you're trying to please other people? Or are you going to say, you know what? I'm not going to play that game. They're both wrong. They both have fault, but sometimes they do have some right things. Or am I going to focus on me? And look what we got. The Ace of Pentacles. Okay? So keep that in mind. Don't allow yourself to be guilted into something that is not for you, that is not for your highest and best, and that you don't want to do. Okay? Reason why I'm looking back and forth is because for those of you that might not know that have popped on, when I do the Facebook reading, I start the reading actually on Zoom because I always post the readings up to YouTube. So I start the reading on Zoom and we have some content that isn't on the feed for Facebook in the beginning. And we also have some content that's on the feed for Facebook even at the end. And like I said earlier, it could be specials. It could be, it's under Tori McNally. It could be discounts. It could be special announcements that you get before potentially you hear on Facebook, FYI, okay? So that is reading B, the angel wings, all right? Options seem unclear. And that makes total sense. You know, being stuck in the middle, you don't know what direction to go in, but you have a team. Look at the angel wings. Call on your angels. Call on your guides. They're there to help you. You got to ask for the help. Let's take a look at C. So as I was saying earlier, I have Mary Magdalene coming up on Saturday night. There's still space available for the class in person as well as on Zoom. It's going to be a great class. It ties in a lot of stuff with Egypt. It ties in a lot with the goddess Isis as well as Mother Mary and so on. And then we have an amazing class on feng shui that will really help change the energy of your home and your environment. It's great for kids' rooms. It's great for, you know, for your personal space, and etc. And the person that we have coming in to teach it, her name's Karen Phillips from Creative Chi. She actually is going to be helping you with, she's going to ask you for almost like a drawing of your floor plan. And she's going to be helping you with really placing what you need to place in your space in order to allow for the chi to flow. So check it out in person, and we will also take remote as well. Go to Eventbrite to book. Okay. So reading C, angel wing. And this is determination. Determination. Let's see what we got for this one. So I'm going to be in studio on Saturday, FYI. I'll be there from probably like 10 to 5. And then I'll be back for the evening event, which is the Mary Magdalene class. If people are interested in readings or Reiki healings, those will be available. Also, if people want to come in on Sunday, if they're interested, just message me and I can schedule appointments with you. So, what do we have for C? It's interesting because we have a lot of hard work that we've put in. We have some new things that have come in or are coming in, but we're not necessarily seeing, I see a tissue. You're not necessarily seeing the full picture on things. And I almost feel like by that, I mean, it's there, but maybe you are not being true to yourself on some of the things. We have Page of Pentacles, which is a great card. It talks about, things and individuals coming in. But then we also have the retreat card, literally the screw it, I'm out of here card. All right. Why do we have that? Let's see. Knight of Pentacles. Okay. This is forward movement. So to me, this is saying don't second guess yourself. You may find yourself separating yourself from situations or people, but that's by you doing that is allowing you to allow new things to come in, new people to come in. It's almost like you're getting rid of the noise, getting rid of the chaos, getting rid of the clutter in order to allow it to come in. Now, looking at some other things, we have the Four of Pentacles, which to me is maybe being wrapped up in your own self. But more importantly, I almost feel like it's one of those things where maybe you're overly cautious. This guy is sitting here like this, holding on for dear life, right? So to me, this is you're overly cautious. Okay, so why do you need to be overly cautious? Four of Wands. That's a great card. That's saying, give it an opportunity to explore. Is this out of fear? Is this out of habit? Is it a wound from the past? What I'm hearing. I'm like, what it's from. Five of Swords. Again, no one's winning. Everyone is just kind of you're going to rehash the past. You're not going to be focusing on your energy on moving forward. Judgment. Come to Jesus card. Taking the time to allow things to, maybe it's a matter of really being like, remember when I said that the Moon card, you're not seeing the full picture, but maybe you're purposely not allowing yourself to see the full picture. It's almost like, okay, you got to get through this. Hey, Michelle, you got to get through this and through this issue and through this feeling of slogging through all this in order to get to the other side. We have to be careful that we're not overthinking the past. And it's one of those things where the past is really prevalent in this particular reading. And like I said, this particular card is all about determination. You may feel like, yeah, I know I want to make some changes. You're determined to, but are you really? What's holding you back? Because I have the Four of Cups here. And the best way to describe the Four of Cups is this guy has three perfectly good cups, or this lady has three perfectly good cups, right? At her feet there. But she's kind of pouting. And she's focused on the one that she doesn't have access to. So, are you going to rehash the past? Or are you going to surrender to the universe and allow yourself to go through the emotions? Maybe it's an emotion of grieving. Maybe it's a relationship. Maybe it is a friendship. Maybe it is a job. You know, we have the Queen of Cups here, who's all about emotions. Water cups are watery and emotional. And this particular reading is all tied in with emotions. You know, we have a good amount of pentacles, but we also have some cups in some pretty strategic places, folks. Two of Wands, Tower. Again, how you view things and how you react to things, what you're telling yourself, what you know to be true, but what you're telling yourself, maybe two different things, is creating a perfect storm, right? Creating a perfect storm. But this is tied, this perfect storm is tied to the past and letting go of what you need to let go of. Even though new things have been coming in, it's a matter of really fully, again, cutting the cord, cutting the ties, cutting the things that bind you or tie you to something or someone from the past, which is not easy. You know, it's not easy. And sometimes we reattach. Sometimes we do it subconsciously. Sometimes we do it consciously. But this is determination. This one's all about determination. You're determined to move forward, but are you really? You know what steps you need to make. You want to move forward, but something's holding you back. And that something that's holding you back is tied into you. It's tied into your past. It could even be tied into something that's cosmic from ancestral, you know, previous life stuff. Those are some things to think about that we tend to overlook. How are we tied into these things? And it's important to know that we have that ability to literally trim and cut away what no longer serves us. We have this ability to trim away what is not working for us and literally weeding away what we don't need. You've been given opportunities. Don't let what happened in the past cloud your judgment from this new stuff coming in, is what I'm seeing for people who chose C. Okay? So that's important to know. What else is going on? So that is the reading for ABC. as I was saying, this reading will be put up to YouTube probably in a day or so. Check out the feed on YouTube, because you're going to find there's stuff that's mentioned and talked about and shared on the feed that goes up to YouTube that's not on the feed for Facebook. So go to Tori McNally on YouTube, hit the bell, like it, share it, follow it, and just know that you're going to be more so in the know if you're able to catch those nuggets that come in. Because like I said, I put the video on Zoom first, which I'm going to send up to YouTube. And then I bring in the Facebook feed. Then after the Facebook feed, after the reading, close down the Facebook feed. There's more content that's added on the feed that goes to YouTube. So keep that in the back of your mind. Again, we still have space for this Saturday night. The Mary Magdalene class. You're welcome, Jane. We still have space available for the feng shui class on the 10th. We still have space available for the Valentine cacao ceremony, which is in person, by the way. And we also still have some space available for the table tipping on the 12th. So if there's someone that you are thinking about who has passed on, ancestors love us very much. Family that's passed on loves us very much in most cases, that have the opportunity to come through, especially when the veil is thin. And you know, I think this is a moment where this is going to be a moment where the veil is going to be thin, right around Valentine's Day. Cindy's also going to be teaching an amazing class on awakening the empath within, which is great for new people that are just in the process of opening up and trying to figure out what's going on with them, you know, what's going on with themselves. So that way they can understand that they, A, are not crazy, B, what they're feeling with opening up is natural, especially as we are becoming more and more in tune to different energies. So she's going to be doing some meditations. She's going to be doing some grounding and energy techniques that are going to be good. And then we also have some mini Zoom readings with Cindy on the 20th. And then I have two more things I want to quickly mention that I promised I will get off the feed. Okay. We have something called a root chakra paint night, which is actually a paint night series that is kicking off in February. And we are going to be doing a painting. Let me take a step back. We're actually be doing some meditations to allow us to connect with the different chakras. So February is a focus on the root chakra, right? And then you're going to be painting according to what came out in the meditation for you. So that's going to be very cool. And then at the very end of the month, on the 29th, we are going to be doing a class on Hathor, who is the Egyptian goddess of love. So with that being said, we will be doing that on the 29th. We will be taking a mystical journey to Hathor's temple called Dendara, and meeting Hathor and some other really fun elements. So we'll be doing that. That's going to be available remote or in person, and is available on Eventbrite. So check it out. So with that being said, I hope everyone has a great evening, or whenever you're watching this. Don't forget to check out the YouTube feed, I'm telling you. Okay, so take care whenever you're watching this. If you're interested in a reading or healing, or you're interested in one-on-one coaching, I do a lot with working with people with Sekhmet, one-on-one coaching opportunities, with Sekhmet Priestess coaching. I also do a lot with some other things that are going to be coming out, which I'm going to be talking about on this next, actually on the YouTube feed. So, but check it out. Take care, everyone. Bye. So that just ended. What did I mean by that? Let me just make sure I got this right, because I don't want to do something stupid. So I want to never delete it. Post now. All right, so it's now thinking it's going to make a reel, whatever. Anyhow, so what I had mentioned at the very beginning was there's going to be a series of classes that are going to be hosted that are going to be remote. They're going to be remote and on Zoom, and it's going to be a class that is dedicated to different topics having to do with ancient Egypt. So I encourage you, if that is something that's up your alley, if you've been to Egypt, this is a great thing to participate in, because you've been to the different temples and you're going to get the opportunity to go back and visit, visit with maybe some of the different gods and goddesses, pharaohs and queens, some of the different topics that I'm going to talk about. So be on the lookout for that. The other thing I wanted to mention is that, and I know I was trying to talk about this on Sunday night, but then completely spaced it out. But I am going to be releasing a booklet about the awakening process and what it's like and what are some of the symptoms and so on. It's actually a free booklet that, ebook rather, that you'll be able to use, download. There's even an area where you can actually print it. And then there's an area where you can actually kind of take notes and take a quiz in terms of how maybe empathic you are, what some of the symptoms that you've maybe had. I mean, because let's face it, how many of us self-diagnose ourselves with whatever is going on with us online, right? So this is an opportunity to kind of see what some of the different awakening symptoms are, and what we've been through. So that way it gives you an idea of whether or not you really are feeling a call to the universe, and it is what it is, and it is true, and you're not making it up, and so on. So that is also, I'm going to be rolling that out too. I think that's probably going to be going out maybe next week. So be on the lookout for that. I will share that with people next week, the actual booklet. And you'll also probably see a few teases about that as well. The Egyptian classes, Zoom classes, are probably going to be, I'm hoping they're going to be rolling out maybe mid to late January. So that way we can start working with those and working with that energy, because there's I have some very distinct marching orders from you know who from Sekhmet herself. So I have some very distinct marching orders, who is kind of leading me on how to do this and what she wants done. There's also going to be some talks about, actually, no, I think I'm going to have this talk right now, because I'm being told it needs to happen. There are people that are out there who are just kind of discovering the Sekhem Reiki and are finding it in such a way where they may be getting a quick certification. to give them another tool in their toolkit as a practitioner. And what I want to say is that if you are going to someone and you're going to someone who is a Sekam Reiki practitioner, ask them how they started this, what type of training have they had, because I feel like there's a lot that's coming out, energetically speaking, that is kind of, how do I say this? It's mimicking her. And she's not happy, right? I'll just kind of hold her here like this. She's not happy. So you as a customer client that's looking to receive Sekam Reiki and try that out, I would ask you to be proactive and find out a little bit more about how they got trained. There are some individuals that I've seen lately that are putting up training opportunities that include the attunements for Sekam 1, 2, and 3 master teacher in a day and a half. And that is not humanly possible. She carries a very high bandwidth. Energetically speaking, she is an energy powerhouse. Being a goddess of duality, she's a goddess of destruction, but she's also a goddess of healing. She had a whole sect of priests and priestesses in ancient Egypt that were dedicated to working with her, to appeasing her, to, I'm going to use the phrase, keeping her under control. So that way they would be able to have crops to grow and have fertile soil and keep away pandemics and things like that. She is very much tied into the cosmos, and she's very much tied into the star Sirius. But the people who are performing the Sekam Reiki need to have some major training on how to increase their bandwidth to be able to work with her. So if you have people that are offering you the opportunity for Sekam Reiki, ask specifically how they learned it. Because you really do need to learn this and expand and allow this energy to integrate over a period of time. When I'm teaching my Sekam Reiki students, they are learning about her and about very specific things having to do with ancient Egypt for at least 6 months to a year for just Sekam Reiki 1. The reason why I'm bringing this up is because I want to make sure that A, people who are obtaining the curriculum so that way they can get the attunements, they're safe. And that the people that they're working on are safe. Because I don't feel, and from what she said, there is no way that people who are learning the Sekam Reiki 1, 2, and 3 master teacher in a day and a half are going to be able to develop the bandwidth to truly be able to work with her. And there are energies that are out there that are mimicking her, that are in some cases creating these opportunities. But it's not her. All right. So I want people to be aware of that. So that way people are safe, not only as a practitioner, but also as someone that receives the energy. She's a complicated goddess to work with. She's a complicated goddess to work with. And I have had a lot of time and energy working with her, both with the Sekhem Reiki, but also literally in the temples there in Egypt. Okay. When I've gone to Egypt, being in the temples, you receive a lot of energy. You receive a lot of attunements. And that is a help for being able to work with her bandwidth. But even me, as a practitioner, I wasn't able to do it all in one shot. And honestly, I wasn't expecting to. I wasn't expecting this. I wasn't expecting to go back to Egypt a second time. But there were things that, energetically speaking, I needed to do in order to be able to work with her energy and to bring in what she wanted worked on. So those are some things to give some serious food for thought on. If you're interested in a second session with me, let me know. I have the studio in Wickford. If you're interested in the one-on-one Sekhem training, which includes the Sekhem 1 certification and attunement, let me know. It is, like I said, a 6 to 12 month commitment. And we go through everything. We go from learning how to work with her, learning the histories about her, learning the histories of the symbols, and much, much more. We go through protection. We go through grounding. We go through a whole bunch of stuff, because working with her means that you're holding the energy of her for yourself, for the space, and your client. That's a lot. That is a lot. So you need to be picky and choosy and ask a lot of questions. And you really need to factor in discernment with this, because energetically speaking, this is a very strong energy. And the energy that is mimicking her is taking advantage of the situation, which, like I said, she's not happy with. But she will she will work on this. But she asked me to bring this up to people now because some people are just thinking of it as a way of, oh, it's a tool, no problem, no one's doing this, I'll just do this. But they're not prepared for it. Okay. So I'm going to put her back. And I'm going to say, have a lovely evening. Why she's not following. Have a lovely evening or daytime or whenever you're seeing this. Please continue to watch the videos on YouTube. Please follow the videos on YouTube as well as on Eventbrite. And if there's anything that you're interested in terms of education, readings, healing, let me know. I'm happy to work with you, either remotely or in person. Okay. So take care and have a great evening. Bye-bye.